Hi, it's me, Vicky Marie. Sort of caught me off guard a little bit, that. Okay, so hi all of you. So tonight we're going to talk about some developments, hopefully developments, in the JonBenet case. Now, I was going to wear my little pink hat tonight, but I've decided I'm not going to wear it because a lot of the photos that I looked at of JonBenet Ramsey, you know, she wears like little hats like this and things. So I think tonight, because we're talking about this case, which this is one of those enduring mysteries, isn't it? It's one of those cases that, you know, we're thinking we're never going to get an answer to. But could it be that we are going to get an answer? Is it possible? Anyway, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So first of all, as always, I just want to say thank you to everyone for being here in the chat or for just being at home watching. Some people don't like to participate in the chat. I know that. That's fine. That's brilliant. One day you might feel comfortable to join in the chat. Sorry, my phone. It's only probably to tell me that I'm going live. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my videos, liking my videos, subscribing to my channel. If you're a new viewer, please think about subscribing. It's completely free. You can unsubscribe at any time, but it really does help me out. It's a free way you can help me out. And for those of you that may be here for the first time, you don't know anything about me, my name's Vicky. This is Vicky Marie Chats. We are here literally to do that, to chat, to talk about cases, but it's for entertainment purposes only. We muse over things. We don't want to cause any offence to anyone. It is just literally, we get on here and we chat just like if we were sat with our mates in the pub, in the bar or whatever, chatting, musing over things. We're always respectful to each other, so any views, any opinions are welcome as long as they're respectful. We appreciate other people may have a different opinion to us. Now, some of my viewers, some of my chatters, they go a little bit further and they become members, and we have a members only live chat on a Thursday evening. And membership also means that you can watch all the unedited live videos, which I do tend to put out to the public, but I edit them normally. So if you want to watch unedited coverage of the members' live streams, even if you can't actually participate in them. Also on the members, I am serializing my new crime novel, which I'm releasing a bit at a time, more or less one part every week, sometimes more. So anyway, that is that. Oh, and I just wanted to thank anyone who's bought me a Ko-fi, anyone who has sent me a super chat or a super thanks, or a, what is it, super chat, super thanks, and there's another one, super something else, super sticker, or bought me a Ko-fi or sent me a PayPal. I appreciate every support that you give me. But even if all you're doing is watching the video, sitting back and watching the video, thank you so much. Okay, so now I'm just going to say hello to everyone. I'd just like to say hello. Hi Chumba, hi Princess, hi Desi, hi Joe H. Oh, Desi might have to leave at some point, but she'll be back. Hi, David. Hi, Rose Petal. Hi, One Solved Mystery. Yes, it is exciting news, and we're going to go through. Yes, it's a very sickening case, Rose Petal. Hi, Julie Ashmore. Hi, Irish Eyes. Going down, going down, going down. Now, if I miss saying hello to anyone, just say hello to me again. Hi, DMV. Hi, Tina. As usual, there's a lot of chat to go through. Princess is dyeing her hair. What colour? Let us know what colour, Princess. Hi, Cuba Lakeland. Yes, I think the JonBenet Ramsey, it's one of those stories, some stories, you know, because there's awful things going on all the time, to be honest, unfortunately. But the JonBenet Ramsey, like Madeleine McCann or the Nicola Bulley case, some cases just seem to grab the whole world, don't they? The attention of the whole world. Hi, Stuart. Okay. Now, so let's have a look at JonBenet. Now, I think most of you, by the sound of it, you know about the case, but there may be some people watching who don't know anything about this case. I mean, it's incredible to think that, isn't it? But of course, we mustn't assume knowledge. That's the first rule of teaching, because anyone who watches my channel regularly will know I'm a Spanish teacher. That's my day job, if you like, and this is my it's not a job what I do on YouTube. I enjoy doing it, and you know, it's great, and the more I'd like to do it more, but my day job, if you like, is teaching. And the first rule of teaching is never assume knowledge. Don't assume that anybody knows anything. You know, you can assume that somebody might, I teach Spanish, so you can assume that somebody might know how to say hello in Spanish, but no, maybe they don't. So you cannot assume any of that. But anyway, let's have a look at some photos of JonBenet. And you know, when I was looking at these today, I thought, well, she's just like a little Tinkerbell, isn't she? She's just like, you know, I don't like all this, these pageants and the way they dress children up as adults. I mean, do they still do? Is there anyone from America out there who knows? Do they still do these pageants and that? I mean, you know, I just think like this one. Look, you know, it's just, it's like a child lover's paradise, really, isn't it? You know, if I mean, she looks beautiful, of course she does, but it's not right, is it? It's not right to dress children up. Oh, I'm just looking at this. This is something in Spanish here. Just let me have a look. Oh, one of the people that's been investigated. So, yeah. She looks like a little doll, doesn't she? The way she's dressed up, all the makeup, and you know, these are suggestive things she's got on. You know, I mean, it's like a can-can girl. I mean, come on. You know, she was 6, for goodness sake. You know, I don't know. Is this still going on in America? You know, I don't think this happens in the UK, and I don't think either that it happens in Spain, which is where I live. Is this a particular American thing? I don't know. Anyway, so that is JonBenet. That is this beautiful 6-year-old girl. Now, let me just come back to make sure I haven't missed anybody coming in. One Solved Mystery. They still do children pageants, but it's become much less popular since this, yeah. But do they still dress up like that then? I mean, it's nice to, well, personally, I don't like beauty contests of any kind for adults or children, because it's, you know, it's just like this body image thing, you know, whether it's for a grown woman, a grown man, or for anyone. I don't like all that. But I'm just wondering, like you're saying, they do them in some parts. So do they still dress up like that? Anyway, you know, at the end of the day, in my opinion, it's wrong. So, right, I forgot where I was going. Oh, so let's just outline what happened. It seems like a lot of people that are on here, they know about this case. But while we're looking at some, you know, you can see the photos over there. I just want to explain to anybody who might be watching, who may but not know the events, what happened to JonBenet Ramsey, because it was quite a long time ago. It was in 1996. That was the year my son was born. So that's 26 years ago. So it's a long, long time ago. So that's why, you know, people feel that, will we ever get an answer to this question, to this case? Will it ever be solved? Anyway, so she was a child beauty queen. You know, she attended all these beauty pageants, and she died at the age of 6 in her home in Boulder, Colorado. And it was a very strange way that it happened. Sorry, somebody said, I wish people would stop sending me messages. It was very strange how it happened, because basically her parents found that she was missing, and there was a kidnap note, a ransom note. They found a ransom note, and they phoned the police. But then just shortly after that, and I mean very shortly after that, I'm trying to see how long after, I think it was about 40 minutes after they rang the police, her father found her body in the basement. So it was all a bit strange, because why, if she was kidnapped, or if that kidnap note, that ransom note was written by a kidnapper, why did they then kill her? Why did they not kidnap her and, you know, come back for the money? But anyway, she was, it was 7 hours after she'd been reported missing that her father John found her in the basement. Now, just a little bit of a warning here, because just to tell you what had happened to the poor little mite, but she had a broken skull from a blow to the head, and she had been strangled, and a garrote was actually tied around her neck. So the autopsy report stated that her official cause of death was asphyxia by strangulation, and associated with craniocerebral trauma, and then obviously her death was ruled a homicide. So that's where it all started, because you know, we all know that normally, especially with children, I think, you know, a child who's found unalive in their own home, it's normally something to do with the family. You know, I bet it's 95% certain that it'd be something to do with the family. So of course, you know, and that's not only with deaths of anybody really. What do they say? They start on the inside and work out when they're trying to figure out what's happened to someone. Oh, and something so this was actually on Christmas Day. It was either on Christmas Day or Boxing Day. They couldn't establish exactly when she died, but it was December the 25th or December the 26th. And I think that, you know, I always say, you'll see so many crimes that happen on or around special dates, you know, like Christmas, Super Bowl, Valentine's Day, you know, somebody's birthday, somebody's anniversary. You know, these sort of things, these events, these special dates seem to, you know, heighten the chance of something terrible happening. I suppose it's people drink around those times, or they take drugs, or, you know, tensions can be high. I don't know. But anyway, so it was, you know, unfortunately, it was actually either Christmas Day or Boxing Day, 25th or 26th of September. So the initial suspicion obviously rested on the parents. The mother was called Patsy. Now, the mother is no longer with us. She died. She was only 55 when she died. She had ovarian cancer. And, you know, to all intents and purposes, she's died without ever finding out what happened to her daughter. If she wasn't responsible and she didn't know who was responsible. And what I found with any interview that I ever saw with Patsy, and anybody might agree with me or disagree with me, some of you out there, I think you followed this case particularly closely. Whenever you saw her being interviewed, she always did seem like she was medicated. I mean, I don't know how this would, well, I've said it before, I don't know how anyone gets through these things. Either, you know, it's bad enough any member of the family, but a child you know, a 6-year-old child, very difficult to get over. Anyway, so yeah, there was this opinion from the Boulder police that this whole thing had been staged by the parents. And of course, her brother Burke, who was 9 years old at the time, there was suspicion cast on him as well, because Burke, I've seen Burke being interviewed, and I'm not sure if I've got something. I've got lots of things to show you, and there may be an interview with Burke there. You know, he's got like, he was smiling for the interviews, and you know, the thing is, sometimes people have just got like an unfortunate manner, haven't they? You know, it's like, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're guilty, but they just don't react in the way we expect them to react. Anyway, all the family have been cleared by DNA, because of course, so we're going back to 1996. The miracle of DNA, you know, DNA has solved many cases that seemed unsolvable. So it may well be that in this case it happens the same. Let's hope so. Let's pray that this is, you know, something is going to come. And it may turn out to be someone that nobody expected. But anyway, as far as DNA was concerned, I believe that not that long ago, in about 2000, was it 2003 or something like that, or 13? Let me have a look if I can find it here. I think that the family were all cleared. The mother, the father, and Burke were cleared as far as DNA was concerned. Anyway, they were a wealthy family. They lived in a nice house. The father had a good job, you know, so that's why the ransom, you know, they would have been able to pay a ransom. But, and apparently a federal court in the end ruled it highly unlikely that Patsy had written the note. It was a very long note. That was quite unusual about it. Anyway, you know, basically, oh, I think I've got the note here. Yeah, let's have a look at the note. Mr. Ramsay, listen carefully. We are a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction. We respect your business, but not the country that it serves. At this time, we have your daughter in our possession. Now, bearing in mind that she was probably dead already by then. She is safe and unharmed, and if you want her to see 1997, you must follow our instructions to the letter. Now, I think this is the actual note. See how neat it is? Very neat, isn't it? Must have taken some time to write that out as neat as that. Anyway, you will withdraw 118,000. That again, it's a strange amount, isn't it? Why $118,000 from your account? Why not 200,000 or 100,000 or 150,000 or even 120,000? Why 118,000? Anyway, 100,000 will be in $100 bills and the remaining 18,000 in $20 bills. Make sure that you bring an adequate size attaché to the bank. When you get home, we will put the money in a brown paper bag. I will call you between 8 and 10 tomorrow to instruct you on delivery. The delivery will be exhausting, so I advise you to be rested. If we monitor you getting the money early, we might call you early to arrange an earlier delivery of the money and hence earlier pickup of your daughter. Any deviation of my instructions will result in the immediate execution of your daughter. So this is what's strange, isn't it? Because it seems like they killed her anyway. They didn't wait. You know, if this is a genuine ransom note, and if why did they not? You know, why did they kill her anyway? I don't know. Do you know what? I've said this before, haven't we? We've seen this before. We try and sort of reason out. You can't reason out why these people do things because they don't think in the same way as normal people. You know, I'm trying to rationalize it from my head. But of course, they're on a totally different planet. Anyway, any deviation of my instructions will result in the immediate execution of your daughter. You will also be denied her remains for proper burial. The two gentlemen watching over your daughter do not particularly like you. So that's the suggestion, that he knows them. So I advise you not to provoke them. Speaking to anyone about your situation, such as police, FBI, etc., will result in your daughter being beheaded. I mean, if we catch you talking to a stray dog, she dies. If you alert bank authorities, she dies. If the money is in any way marked or tampered with, she dies. You will be scanned for electronic devices, and if any are found, she dies. You can try to deceive us, but be warned that we are familiar with law enforcement countermeasures and tactics. You stand a 99% chance of killing your daughter if you try and outsmart us. Follow our instructions and you stand a 100% chance of getting her back. You and your family are under constant scrutiny, as well as the authorities. Don't try to grow a brain, John. You're not the only fat cat around, so don't think that killing will be difficult. Don't underestimate us, John. Use that good southern common sense of yours. It's up to you now, John. Victory, SBTC. So what that means, SBTC, I don't know. So, yeah, so interesting, isn't it? Let me just make sure you're all still okay. Hi, Renee. Hi, Jean. Hope I haven't missed anyone. Like one of my books, yeah. Yeah, exactly, DMV. You know, expert, but right, you know, that's a very long, rambling ransom note, very neat. It was as if it took them a few times to write it. I mean, if I wrote something out as long as that, I'd have to write it a few times. Do you know what I mean? Right, the Katy Perry involvement, Stuart, it's not really involvement. It was just there was a conspiracy theory at one time that Katy Perry was really JonBenet Ramsey, like that she didn't die really and she became Katy Perry. But anyway, that's not true. Okay. Yes, one solved mystery. I think Burke is socially awkward, isn't he? But anyway, I've got some things to talk about Burke soon anyway. So, I haven't met Rene. I've said hello to Maltese Cross. Hi. I think I've said hello to Jean. Hi, Mia. Lena Zavaroni. Yes, yeah, not quite as tragic as JonBenet, but I know what you mean. Okay, so let's look at the next thing. What was the next? What should we go on to now? Right, let me explain to you now then let's have a look at Burke. Now, I've got to be careful with this video because you know what it's like. I don't know who's going to get me for copyright or whatever, but I just wanted to give you a little picture of what Burke is like now he's an adult. So let's just have a little look at him talking. And you just get an idea why, because he has come out and spoken, but he is a little bit socially awkward and he smiles a lot. I think that's what got it. A lot of people, if you like, judged him on that fact. But
the child beauty queen, eternally 6 years old, whose gruesome unsolved murder became America's fixation.
This is why I didn't want to wear my little pink hat, because it reminds me of her.
Two competing theories lingered for years. Did an intruder break in and kill, or were the Ramsays themselves somehow
right,
the interview
so I want
of
to
Burke
just
and
fast
thinks,
forward
why
it
is this young man smiling?
Exactly what had happened.
I mean, I didn't know if there's some bad guy downstairs. My dad was chasing off with a gun.
Everyone looks at the interview of...
Yeah, it was that interview that he did with Dr. Phil, where he was smiling a lot. And that's where a lot of people, you know, sort of cast aspersions on him, if you like, and thought, oh, why is he smiling? Let's just have another look.
Downstairs, my dad was chasing off with a gun.
Everyone looks at the internet.
But I have seen other people being interviewed in certain cases, you know, relatives of victims, etc. And like they smile. Is it a nervousness? Maybe it's like a nervous smile. I honestly don't know. Right, I'm going to fast forward it a little bit here. Let's have a look at this. I've got to be careful.
It appears to link you to the death of JonBenet. What would you tell me?
But Patsy never wavered, always adamant about their innocence.
Go back to the damn drawing.
Now, that was an interview with Patsy in the early days. Later, as time went on, honestly, I just felt like Patsy. Let's have a little look at JonBenet.
Who did it?
JonBenet was a pedophile's dream come true.
Lou Smith, the late detective who was brought in.
I agree with him. She was a paedophile's dream come true, wasn't it? I mean, you know, it's like all those beauty pageant things. You know, they've got little girls dressed like this.
And he told me if he had another chance, he wouldn't let
Six-year-old
JonBenet
girl.
compete publicly.
Were you naive about letting her compete in pageants?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But your lesson was, what if we inadvertently exposed her to the killer?
Obviously, you don't want to keep them locked in the house, but it's just an awareness. Not everyone around you is a nice, good person.
The thing is, no, you don't want to keep your children locked in the house, do you? But I think that's a bit ridiculous what he said, because there's a big difference between keeping your children locked in the house, dressing them up like a bloody, you know, an escort or something, and taking them off to a beauty pageant. That's not like taking them to the park or But having said that, we have to remember that sometimes children go missing when they've been taken to the park or whatever. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, that was JonBenet's dad speaking. Oh, God, this motorbike's going on outside now. Now, let's have another look at him. Is he still alive? He married again. He's got another family.
We won't need a trial.
Well, no one would blame you for being angry and bitter.
And I was for a time, absolutely. But you can't stay there, and because it's damaging to you as a person. It's a gift you give yourself to let it go.
As for Burke, he's now a software engineer and once again back in the headlines.
It's sort of surprising that Burke gave up his anonymity.
And I think in retrospect, it was probably a mistake. I don't think he came across that well, even though he's totally innocent.
And yet 20 years later, JonBenet's case, still an unsolved murder. The Boulder police chief releasing this video statement.
We remain focused on this investigation and finding justice for JonBenet.
Her murder remains America's great whodunit mystery, still haunting the public imagination.
The notion that these rich...
So, there you go. So that's Burke. That's the mum and dad who, as I said, the mother, she died of cancer. So I don't think she saw them all be exonerated. Well, she certainly hasn't found out who the killer is. So what I want to look at now are the things that have come out, the possible developments in this case. I mean, it's amazing to think that there could be developments after all this time, isn't it? So I'm going to look, I've got a few news items ready. I'm going to look at this one first, I think. Let's have a look. Let's look at this one first. So this is the Messenger News. And this is, I don't know whether this is where the story broke, but investigators are looking at new persons of interest in the JonBenet Ramsey murder case. We're seeing if any of them are the key to solving this case, a Boulder police source tells the Messenger. 27 years after the 6-year-old pageant queen was killed. God, it'd be fantastic, wouldn't it, if they did, if they could link someone with DNA. It's like the Golden Gate serial killer, you know, linked with DNA after all those years. Loads of people have been linked, haven't they? We looked at some other murders, you know, in Scotland, etc., where people had been linked after years. You know, they must have thought they'd got away with it. Anyway, they said they're far from making arrests, but they're saying there are several people on the radar, a police source tells the Messenger, new persons of interest, and we're seeing if any of them are the key to solving this case. Time will tell if we get the answers we need. This is a marathon, not a sprint. And I think that's important because at the end of the day, not, you know, poor JonBenet, you know, she isn't coming back. So in a way, it's better that they take their time over it and do it right, you know, because we don't want somebody to be arrested and then when it comes to the court case, they haven't got enough evidence or whatever. Do it right, do it correct. Having said that, the way that JonBenet was killed, you know, with the garrote and being whacked over the head, and there was some evidence of, you know, abuse, etc. Be very strange to me to think that whoever did that, then they did nothing else for 27 years. You know, surely if they'd done one thing like that, let's suppose that was the first time they'd ever done anything like that, would they really, you know, it's unusual, isn't it, for people who commit crimes of that magnitude to not ever do it again. Anyway, so although the Christmas Day 1996 murder has never been solved, Boulder police say they have never stopped investigating the case. And in 2021, the department said it had analysed nearly 1,000 DNA samples and had sent detectives to 19 states to interview or speak with more than 1,000 people in connection with the crime. That's quite amazing, isn't it? So earlier this year, police began using new DNA technology to test at least 5 pieces of previously unexamined evidence. And it's unclear, though, if the DNA testing has led to new persons of interest. So when was that article? Oh, sometimes they don't say. There's no date on it, unfortunately. Can't see a date. Anyway, let's look at the Daily Mail. Again, so this is Daily Mail Online, and is there a date? Please have a date. Yeah, so this was 25th of September, so this was only yesterday. Investigators looking at new persons of interest in JonBenet Ramsey murder case after finishing up analysing nearly 1,000 DNA samples and speaking to more than 1,000 people across 19 states. So it's more or less the same story, but at least we've got a date on this. So yeah. Oh, look at this picture. Oh my God, this picture of JonBenet, it just, I mean, it's beautiful, of course it's beautiful, but it's not right, is it? I mean, you know, that's why I didn't dress up tonight, because it just reminded me too much of this. I mean, the thing is, little girls like dressing up, or a lot, not all of them, but a lot of them do. I always did. I love dressing up. I still love dressing up. I think it was David said earlier, have you got a big wardrobe, because I'd had that mask on. But no, but I'm building up. I've got my dressing up bag now with all my stuff. I had to, you know, because I've been buying masks and God knows what to just give people a smile when I'm doing a video. But it didn't seem appropriate with this particular video. But little girls love dressing up, don't they? And they like glitz, and they look, she's got lots of feathers and the furry thing on her arm and everything. And you know, there's not many little girls that are going to say, oh, no, I don't want to dress up, you know. Oh, dear me. Anyway, that's her with her mum. I mean, she looks older than 6, doesn't she, on that picture? Having said that, one of my nephews has got a little girl who's 6, and she's definitely been here before because she looks a lot older as well. You know, do you wouldn't think if Patsy was like living her life through JonBenet, you know, she was wanted JonBenet to win these pageants because I think Patsy had been involved with them when she was younger. Anyway, so yeah, this has come from the Messenger. There are several people on the radar, new persons of interest. So it's just more or less what I read earlier, really. So she was covered by, when they found her, so let's just go back to how they found her. I think she was on the stairs, wasn't she? And she was covered by a white blanket with a nylon cord around her neck, her wrists bound above her head, and her mouth covered by duct tape. It just seems strange, doesn't it? More than a kidnapping type thing. Anyway, there was no clear-cut evidence of rape, but police did not rule out sexual assault. And the DNA that they found was under her fingernails and on her clothes. And then there was this ransom note with this strange amount, 118,000. Why? Why 118,000? Oh, Lord. Oh, God, see, I've got a mask like that. That's why I couldn't do any dressing up today. And this is the home. I mean, it's a beautiful house. Christmas, look, all the Christmas things around. There's a lovely family picture. She looks so much, you know, more like a child there, of course, because she's not all dressed up. That must have been a couple of years. So that was in 1993. So that was 3 years before the incident. Yeah. So John is now 78 years old. So is he going to make it? Is he going to make it? Is he going to see the murderer of his daughter brought to justice? Well, hopefully. Gosh, look at that massive cross on Patsy there. Gosh, that's a big cross, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, is he actually getting a course when he passes to the other side? Hopefully he'll find out what happened to her. Hopefully he'll see JonBenet. Oh, look, just like this little Tinkerbell sort of thing. Anyway. Yeah, a couple of people, this guy, what's his name? John Mark Carr, he admitted to the murder. See, this is the other thing that the police have to contend with, isn't it? Bloody nutters confessing to the crime that they never did. You know, they couldn't link him to the scene of the crime, even though he said he'd done it. And, you know, because sometimes people, especially in famous cases, they try to get involved, don't they? That's her grave. These people, they try and get involved, and, you know, they confess to the crime even though they didn't do it, just for attention. So the police have got to contend with all that as well. Yeah. Anyway, who knows? Who knows? I don't think. You know, I do feel for the police, really, because they've got all that to get. You know, not only they're trying to find out who did it, you know, which is difficult enough, eliminating the family, you know, working their way through suspects, and then they get some nutter coming along and saying that, yeah. Let me just go make sure I haven't missed anyone. Hopefully I haven't missed anyone. I can't go, it is too far to go back. I hope I haven't missed anybody. It's very cringy. It's all very cringy. I don't know what was. you know, and you can't blame the parents or the mother or whatever. That's what she did. She took her to the pageants. If she didn't murder her, she can't. But I just don't understand that way of thinking. But anyway. Sorry, I felt like it. Did I say hello to Julie? I felt like I just missed someone. Did I say hello to Joe H? Did you see my video? I did a video on Charlene Downs. I'll put the, I might find it in a minute. Oh, Joe, you need to have a look at my video on Charlene Downs, because it was quite funny, because one of my subscribers sent me an email and said, oh, Emma Kenny's doing Charlene Downs. I mean, I'm sure she didn't copy me, but... Hi, Rachel. Hi, Yvonne. How are you feeling better now? How's things going? Yeah, if you just put in Joe into my channel, Charlene Downs, it'll come up. YouTube didn't like it at all. They were like not happy with it at all. But anyway, it's still up there. I thought about taking it down, but I didn't take it down. Hi, Wendy. We're near the end now, I'm afraid. Oh, you're not too good. Oh, I wish I could help you. Let's send some love out to Yvonne, because she's not feeling too clever. Let's send some healing love out to Yvonne. I'm sorry about that. Now, the Charlene Downs, sort of changing the subject a little bit. What can I say? Well, you have to watch the video to see. That's a very, very complicated case. Very, very complicated. And basically, two people that went to prison for killing Charlene Downs are now out, and they've received like a lot of money of compensation. So anyway. Oh, yeah. Hi, Jim. Hi, Jim. Right, so we're on bated breath, waiting to see, you know, is something going to come of these, you know, DNA developments. I mean, surely the way DNA is going now, they must be like, sorry, he's got a, what was his name? One Solved Mystery was saying, with genealogical DNA as well now, and they've got to, you know, surely they're going to be able to narrow this down to someone, and it could end up being somebody that nobody had ever thought of before. But, you know, I think it's got to be someone close to the family, because just of the fact they knew where to go into the home, you know, to be able to get hold of JonBenet like that and do whatever they did to her, you know, they've got to be quite close to the family, haven't they? You know, they've just got to be. And yeah, they think there was some sexual assault there, but the thing is, this case, just like any other case that we ever look at, until someone's actually convicted, we do not know all the information. We don't know it, because the police cannot release all the information, because they've got to hold things back, because when they do get a suspect in custody that they think it's likely that they did it, they've got to have this information, haven't they, to, you know, use in the, so the police will release bits of information. They'll release what they have to, but until they've actually got a suspect in custody, they don't release all the information, do they? So, you know, we only get the bit that we get, and, you know, We only get the sort of bits of information that the police decide to give us. There'll be a load more information that the police all know, but they won't release until they've got a specific suspect in mind. Yeah, it can't be the brother Stuart because Burke was cleared by DNA. Now, I want to tell you some things about Burke. So I did look up some information about him because I do feel for him, because I've got to say, when I first saw his interview, I did think, oh, you know, because he came over as being quite strange. But you know what? Sometimes people are strange, bless him. So this is facts.net, and this is some facts about Burke. So since the murder of JonBenet Ramsey in 1996, the case has captivated the world's attention. So it's just like, you know, the Madeleine McCann case, isn't it? Or there's not many cases span the globe with the attention. You know, that there might be a case that's big in America or big in Britain or big in Australia, but it's rare for cases to actually span the globe like this one has. There'd be very few people, and even, you know, years later, people still knowing about it, people of all ages knowing about it. So anyway, there's always a lot of speculation about Burke. There was all the talk about the pineapple, because she was, they felt like she'd just eaten pineapple not long before, and they felt that that had been like a domestic situation of her sitting eating pineapple in the kitchen. You know, there's a lot of conjecture, and unfortunately Burke has been on the tail end of it. So anyway, so he was born on January the 27th, 1987. Saying he's an Aquarius, known for their independent and intellectual nature. He grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. He had a typical childhood filled with school, extracurricular activities, family vacations. Now, he is the oldest of the Ramsay children, because he now does have a younger half-brother, John Andrew, because his dad, of course, remarried. He was 9 years old when JonBenet was tragically murdered. He was questioned by law enforcement. I mean, that must have been difficult at his age at the time, because he was only 9. And he had a lot of lengthy interviews, investigations, a lot of media attention. That must have been very difficult for a 9-year-old. So his parents, John and Patsy, tried to shield him. But as he got older, his relationship with his parents became strained, which you can imagine that the family dynamics must have been very difficult. Anyway, he went for a degree in computer science, and he graduated in 2010 at Purdue University. He's kept a low profile ever since. He's a computer programmer, I think now. He's got passion for photography. He's a very private person. He's always maintained his innocence. And he has sued several media outlets, which I don't blame him. He likes outdoor activities like hiking and camping, and he supports initiatives for missing and exploited children. And he has maintained a relatively private social media presence. So he rarely shares personal updates, but occasionally posts about his interests and hobbies. And he's kept in touch with friends from childhood. His upbringing was privileged. I mean, they were a well-off family. He's spoken about his sister's murder in interviews. He enjoys playing video games in his free time as a form of escapism, allowing him to unwind. And he's expressed hopes of one day starting a family of his own. Apparently he's an advocate for mental health awareness. He honours his sister's memory in his own way, and he's received both support and criticism from the public. I wonder if he is married. Oh, yes, he changed his name, but I think he's become public now. Let's see. These are just facts about him. He enjoys spending time with animals. which is always nice. He believes in the importance of forgiveness. He's focused on a positive future for himself. I'm just going to look him up because I don't know if he's married or not. Maybe you never find anything just easy when you want to. News. Not saying here whether he's married or not. No, he's not married. So he's not married and he doesn't have children. So yeah, John remarried a fashion designer in 2011. But as far as I can see, if anybody knows any different, he's not, Burke is not married. Let me just see it. Now, is there anything else? I mean, it was, it's rumbled on for so long. You know, it just has. It's I'm just going to put the photos back up of JonBenet to finish. Hi, Saskia. So I'll just come back and say hello because I think some people have come in. Oh, hi, Saskia. I'm glad you came. Right, so yeah, One Solved Mystery is obviously an expert on this case, which is great. What's on Newsnight? So the pineapple was found in her intestine, which takes hours. So yeah, there was a big thing made about the pineapple, wasn't there? Vicky's Fancy Man, like it. What was that? Oh, what's that? Is that Rachel Marin? Has there been some information about Rachel Marin? Let's have a look. News Nation. Now, that'll be on, let me see. News Nation are funny. You can only get them on, I can only get them on YouTube. I can't get their website because they don't cover. Because, you know, in the Rachel Marin case, they have doubled the reward to 20,000. So it's been doubled from 10,000 to 20,000. Can't see anything on here. Let's see if I get News Nation. YouTube. Oh my God, the day that they get this guy, it'd be just so brilliant. Right, what was it live, Jean? Was it on live? Hey, I can't see anything on here. Videos. Let's have a look if I search Rachel. But look, as soon as I find anything, I'll be, yeah, nothing's coming up on here on my YouTube. $14 hours ago. Because I am subscribed to them, so normally comes up if they've got anything going on. It's a 14-hour one ago. Sorry, I'll have a look what 10 hours ago. It was streamed 10 hours ago. Right, let's have another look. Hang on. Oh, here is this up here.
Door to door, handing out flyers in English and Spanish with info about the case and the suspect. The man leading those efforts is Matt McMahon, father of Rachel's oldest child. He joins me now. This is his first national interview, and we appreciate him being with us. Also joining me is Rachel's sister, Rebecca Morin, and the Morin family attorney, Randolph Rice. All three of you, thank you so much for being with us. I know how difficult this is every single day. Matt, I want to start with you because we haven't spoken with you before. I'm very, very sorry for your loss. I know that for you personally, you have this very personal feeling that you have to get out there and help find this guy.
Yes, absolutely.
No, I just saw the sheriff on there. But anyway, as soon as I know anything about the Rachel Marine case, so the cops went to LA and Chicago. Yeah, because there was those two models found dead in Los Angeles. I did do a video about that. You know, anyway, again, with that case, we won't know anything until they've actually arrested someone. I mean, they'll let out little bits of information, but you just have to hope, you know, that they have got more, because it feels like, you know, I just can't believe once they released that CCTV image or door cam image of that guy, you really thought that it wouldn't be long, didn't you, before he would be caught? But anyway, it's okay. We finished the case now. So as soon as I hear anything definite from that, I'll be on with a live. If there's a press conference, if it's the middle of the night, if I see it, if I possibly can, you know, I've been following that every day. I look for news, and the only news that I saw was that they've doubled the reward. Oh, bless. So you only do Ramsay one solved mystery. But no, thanks for being here, though, because I'll tell you what, your input was really important, because you obviously know, but I don't know as much as you are. I'm not an expert. So thank you very much for giving the information. And yeah, I'll always cover any update, anything that I hear. You know, I'll be back again doing a case about, doing a video about JonBenet. Let's hope that some peace comes to her father and Burke, you know, for all what they've had to go through. So thank you for being here. Okay, yes, Saskia, glad you made it. We'll have some healing hugs going out to Saskia as well. Saskia and Yvonne, or anyone who's not feeling too clever. You know, that's what we're here for. Hopefully we can, you know, we can't change things, but we can at least give out some love, and that's all we can do. Oh, so many people just, you know, struggling through life at the moment, isn't there? All the time. But anyway, love and hugs to everybody. So anyway, that's the updates about JonBenet. We're hoping, we're praying that more will come out, aren't we? So let's we'll see each other very soon, as always. Remember to live and love very carefully, very wisely. But the most important thing, in fact, more than that, look after yourselves. That's important. You've always got to make time for yourself. You know, sometimes you don't feel like doing something, or, you know, for whatever reason, You know, you are the most important person. And I really mean that when I say it, because you are, because you can't look after anybody else unless you're okay. So you've got to learn to look after yourself. All of us have. I'm the world's worst for doing it. And sometimes it's difficult because you always put other people first. But you get to a point in life, I think, where you know that you have got to put yourself first. You know, just even little things like if you feel like having a nap in the middle of the day, have a nap. If you physically, you know, if you can, like because you're not working or whatever. I mean, obviously, I can't just have a nap when I'm in the middle of a class. But what I do now is try and organise my day around a little nap or a little, even if it's not a nap, just sit in front of the telly for half an hour. I watched the Jill Dando Netflix documentary today, or I've watched some of it. I haven't seen all the episodes yet. Very interesting. You know, it's just, I know it's still true crime, so it's not technically, but it's just a relaxation, you know, just sit there and the eyes drift off for 15 minutes or whatever. So what I'm trying to say is if you feel like a bar of chocolate, you feel like an ice cream, or you feel like a glass of wine or whatever, just do it. You know, don't be thinking, oh, I shouldn't do this, or I should be on a diet, or I should be doing this, or I should be doing that. You know, you've got to just make yourself feel good. You know, and sometimes a bit of chocolate does make you feel good. Yeah, I think a lot of women especially are people pleasers, but a lot of men are too, you know. And I think for men as well, what men I think have to think of, because women will tend to chat with their friends if nothing else, won't they? So, you know, they'll chat and they'll share things, and men quite often don't talk. And, you know, they keep things bottled up inside. So I think it's important for men to talk as well. You're having a glass of wine now. I'm going to have one now. I've been on water, but I'm going to have wine now. So I've only got Carver. But the thing is, I didn't want to drink Carver because I get too drunk when I drink Carver. We're not drunk, but I get giddy. And I didn't want to get giddy. You're welcome, Julie. Thank you. Hi, Jackie. Sorry, I don't think I said hello to you. I must have missed you. It must have been when I was talking about something. I don't like to miss people. But yes, and as I say, if I hear anything, any developments, especially with the Rachel Marine case, I will be back on. So thank you so much. You remember, yeah, I've learned not to drink Carver when I'm on screen. But I think what we'll treat you to as I say goodbye is a little pink hat. So thank you so much. So remember, till I see you again, may your gods go with you, and big hugs to anyone who's not feeling too clever. And that's particularly Yvonne and Saskia. Thank you so much. Bye.